Hello, one and all, and welcome to Dark Vault Gaming. I'm your host, Joe Dark, and today we have breaking news on Bethesda Game Studios' upcoming blockbuster space RPG, Starfield. I know I primarily do Fallout 76 videos, but this news was too important to pass up. Here's what we know so far. Now, we all know Starfield is a massive open-world space RPG based on Bethesda's classic RPG-style games, and is, without a doubt, the most anticipated game coming next year. And not only for Bethesda Game Studios, but the gaming community as a whole. This game has been a very long time in the making. 25 years since conception. With Bethesda delaying its release to ensure a solid release, unlike Fallout 76, they do not want to make the same mistake they did in the past, for sure. This is Todd Howard's pet project. This is his baby, and he wants perfection on release, no doubt. Now, as we now know, not much is known about the game other than this previously released trailer that we're watching. But now, an insider by the name of Snow One has shared rumors that more about Bethesda's game will be told at the Game Awards this year. This year's Game Awards will be held on Thursday, December 8th, beginning at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. It will be held live from the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles, California. Now, Snow wrote that the ceremony will show new Starfield gameplay, as well as announce the official release date, stating he expects the game to release in June of 2023. As I mentioned earlier, dialogue in this game will resemble classic Bethesda games like Fallout and Skyrim, but Starfield will have more than 250,000 lines of dialogue compared to Fallout 4's 111,000 and Skyrim's 60,000. In a recent Constellation Questions video, Todd Howard shared some interesting details about the upcoming Starfield space journey. Let's take a look.
First, the thing that we want to know is what inspired Starfield?
Oh, so many things. I think the main ones that, I'm going to go back like in time here. Sundog is a big one. Amazing game, kind of like the science fiction game when Ultimas were out. It also had this parserless interface, kind of one of the first games where you're moving objects around and putting them together, but great game where you had your own ship and you could explore around that I loved. Another one, this is a kind of pen and paper role-playing game at the time where D&D was getting popular, is this game Traveler. Traveler was a little more hard science fiction. The other thing there is one of the first games I programmed on the Apple II at the time. I really wanted to make a Traveler game. It was also my first time realizing that computers had memory that you could run out of. I can already see the comments, people saying, you've been running computers out of memory for 40 years now, but that's an easy comment, everybody. You can do better. But those are the big ones, hearkening back to those old role-playing games that we loved, and hey, can we pull off something like this with today's computers and consoles, and et cetera.
You mentioned hard space or hard sci-fi, and I know that that's one of the things that's been hotly debated in the community. Is Starfield considered a hard sci-fi?
I never quite know, because that's always like, what do they think it is if you say yes or no? I think it is more hard to us, hard science fiction, where you can draw that line from, okay, here's how man explored space, and you can even look at our ships and say, all right, that has some visual identity back to that. But it's a trap question because it's a video game, right? Like a hard science fiction video game would be you die in space cold. And a good example, we were really into fuel and how the gravity drive works, and I'm reading papers on quantum physics and bending space in front of you. You don't actually warp, you bend the space, you bring the space towards you. And so we were playing that, and it became very punitive to the player. Your ship would run out of fuel, and the game would just stop. You just want to get back to what you're doing. So we've recently changed it where the fuel in your ship and the grav drive limits how far you could go at once, but it doesn't run out of fuel. Maybe there'll be an update or a mod that allows that, but that's what we're doing now.
Constellation members are excited about the character customization and the traits in the game. Can you talk more about what players will experience with the traits?
I love our trait list. It's super fun. But each one obviously comes with some sort of negative as well. And we have a way in the game, kind of an activity or quest you can do to remove that trait, as opposed to, don't like my character, I want to start over. Each of them are something like that you can solve that removes the entire trait for the rest of your playthrough.
The last question, we have speech checks and dialogue that reflect your character build. Do you want to expand upon that at all?
Yeah, look, we've done a lot of different dialogue systems. We've gone back to kind of I'll call it like a classic Bethesda style dialogue, with you're looking at the character and how they emote. You have a series of choices there. The scope of the game, the amount of content we're making, is a bit more than we've done before in terms of quests and things like that. But the depth in some of the stuff with the dialogue, we just passed 250,000 lines. And so that's a lot of dialogue, but we've gone through it and the impact is really there. And that includes my favorite speech persuasion system.
You're not talking us out of this score.
It feels like it's part of the dialogue, but you're spending points to persuade them.
You willing to give up the ship? Just like that?
It feels natural, not like I've entered some other mode where I'm not doing regular dialogue. It's just I'm in this mode of persuading you to get what I want.
Having a way with words might prove useful.
That's it. That's all the questions that I had for today.
Yeah, this has been great. You know, everybody out there, keep it coming. We do really read it all, and also we look forward to showing you more of the game in the future as well.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. That's all we have for today, but don't forget you can submit your questions at the hashtag below. See you later.
Okay, now I do understand, since this is being held on a Thursday afternoon when most people work or have classes, but never fear, Joe Dark is here. I will cover the awards in their entirety and bring you all the breaking news on Starfield and any other big game news that comes up. Now, speaking of Bethesda, there is a current huge sale on Bethesda PC games for you to take advantage of during the holiday season. So you might want to cash in on these special offers, like the PC version of Fallout 76 for $9. I'll leave a link in the description below. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and you know what to do. Don't forget to hit that bell to be notified of all upcoming content. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Everybody have a great day. Excelsior. Take care.